SRB Media.
You need to know. Have a drink, have your say. All opinions here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Enjoy your stay. Michael, Matt, and Chris are here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Come and have your say.
I just wanted to say happy birthday to Arthur Payne, the oldest surviving former Brummies man. 96 on Wednesday the 28th of August. And also, Eric Boothroyd's going to be 92 on April the 26th. Harry Bastable, 91 on August the 30th. Ivor Davis, 91 on December the 14th. And Dan Forsberg, 85 on March the 25th. Not looking bad on it, are they, guys? Only in Speedway. Wow, that was a severe cut off. What happened there?
Yeah.
Well, first thing is, why have we gone in a time warp?
I haven't got a clue. We all went backwards into it.
Yeah, we for some reason we played the old music. Can't get. Right, good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern, everybody. We have in the studio today, as per normal, Matt.
Good evening.
And what's your name again?
Good evening.
Your name's Good Evening.
Good evening.
Sure.
And Chris Webby, I can't find the right music. Brown. Myself, Michael, GA, Hey You, Thingy, whatever you want to call me. On the menu tonight, well...
Menu?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a 4-course meal available tonight, is it too?
Well, it might be one course, who knows. Chips. Yeah, so I thought a few of the things we could talk about tonight. Obviously, what you guys out there want to talk about, it will take paramount. But, yeah, we had a great Grand Prix.
We certainly did, yes. And it's a wide open World Championship now.
4 or 5 riders in with a realistic chance of becoming world champion.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's
bad one for Martosh Marslick, I would say.
Yes, it was a disappointing one. But
We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, hasn't there been some really great matches around the different teams this week?
Close matches,
very
wasn't
close
there?
matches. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I was watching the Swindon against Paul match, and again, probably not as close as some of the others that were going on around, but still a really good, entertaining match.
I think Swindon in the end deserved the point, didn't they?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I thought Jason Doyle was unlucky to get that warning for the start. I couldn't see anything wrong with that start.
No, I couldn't see. You're talking about in the Grand Prix war.
He was unlucky in the Grand Prix as well.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them really. Yeah, and also injuries. We've got to talk about injuries once again, because we have an interview in the Speedway style with James Shane saying how good he thinks this team is that we've ended up with, and it would have been interesting to see what this team could and would have done at the start of the season. I think he's right, and then all of a sudden the team gets decimated again.
Yeah,
because James Shane's
suffering a back injury
right at the wrong moment, if there's ever a wrong moment, when he goes into the main body of the team, so we have to use RR, we can't.
Yeah.
It's a crying shame, just when we're about to... We seem to be cursed against Leicester this year as well.
Yeah.
But also we'll have a chat about that.
We'll send our best wishes to James as well. I mean,
absolutely.
He's a good lad as well, James. He's a nice fellow. He's a really bloke,
Birmingham Speedway.
Yeah.
He just is at the moment, and... they don't sound nice injuries either. He's had a couple of vertebrae broken.
Well, it's certainly finished his season, so I mean, that's most important thing now is he makes sure he gets himself
better. Yeah.
Better, and then obviously, once that's sorted, then start for 2020.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next season already now.
Yeah.
'Cause
Still a few more matches to go, though.
there is a few more matches, a lot of them this week. Unfortunately for us, we've got a heavy schedule this week. We obviously got Leicester, and then I think we've got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, if I remember right. Matches on the Northern Tour.
That's right.
Ouch.
Yes, some long old trips there, aren't there? So.
Yeah, I was hoping to go, but one thing and another meant I couldn't. So perhaps I might be a little bit glad I'm not going now, because it's going to be tough work, I think. But it is what it is, and these guys have surprised us before. We'll see. So yeah, those are some of the things that we want to talk about. Hello everybody on the shout box. That's a nice new shout box we've got.
New.
It's red and yellow.
Shall I explain?
Yes, why not?
So if you don't want to go on Facebook, you can if you like. You can find us on all good Facebook groups and pages. You can
And some bad ones.
And some bad ones. There aren't many
Yeah,
bad
we
ones.
won't discuss them.
You can find us online at srbmedia.co.uk.
Ooh.
He's been waiting to say that all day, isn't he?
Say that again.
Yeah, srbmedia.co.uk.
So will they be able to find us the way that you used to be able to?
Yeah.
So-
I've pointed all those servers to that.
Okay.
So we've got our own chat room now on
Wow.
Speedway chat, and there's football chat and all sorts of chats.
I feel all rich and succulent and.
And I'm guessing
take
Anonymous
something from that,
35. I'm guessing Anonymous 35 is Tomo. So hi
Okay.
guys, gutted James Shanes is injured. Oh,
Yeah, I mean we're all gutted on that, and
Just change it there.
get better soon.
Shall I
mate.
Shall I say hello to some of the people
Do a
on
roll
Facebook?
call, yes.
Yes, let's
There
have
we
a
go.
roll
So
call.
Simon Corbett, Margaret, Sean, Simon, Paul, Stephen, Linda, Wendy, Jim, Brian, Elliot, Barry, Ben, Jeff, Lawrence, Dylan, Spud, and Alan, and loads more.
And talking about Lawrence, he's pointing out that we should mention Tom Spence, who got injured at Leicester on Saturday. I don't think that was from the sound of it. That wasn't a nice. If any of these incidents ever are nicer, get better soon, Tom. He's starting to really show. Spuddy says, "Have Brummies walked under a ladder or something?" Well, it's been 2 seasons in the running. This has now with these injuries and so on. Gutted for Shainesy and for the Brummies. Been a bit of a baptism of fire for them this season, coming back up. Hopefully they're still in the Championship next season and get a share of good fortune. I don't think there's any doubt that's where we will be next year.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's been a tough season, but I think it's been a really good learning curve for
It has,
the
and
Masons
haven't we
Lawrence.
seen some fantastic racing?
I've got to say,
the
the racing I've seen at Perry Bar this season is probably better than I've seen probably since the Elite League days. The early Elite League days before all the shenanigans with that. But,
and Jim Terrell says, "Good evening to all you taverners out there. Good evening, all you taverners." And I have to keep remembering to say that. Yeah, I keep forgetting that one. But we'll get there. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Alan Atherton, Supporters Cup final 2 days before Cardiff. 130 of us leaving Bellevue 10 a.m. on the 20th, and the final is at Swindon on the 19th.
Yeah.
Only in Speedway. Love it. Think Kent can probably trump Brummies for bad luck. We've not actually had a meeting with our declared 1 to 7 all season long. Yeah, possibly. However, we go back 2 seasons with this.
yes.
Because we had exactly the same. So I think we need some sort of trophy this year. However, Kent had a looked like a good good call for the trophy, perhaps in some cases. So they have had a bit of a. How many times have we had our 1 to 7? Probably a couple of matches.
Not many times.
Yeah, a couple of matches. Injuries, riders doing too much, nearly all doubling up must take its toll. Well, I can see what you're saying. However, the number of meetings that riders have got probably no more than they used to do in the 70s and 80s when there was more teams to ride against. So it's probably the same amount of riding.
Plus, of course, particularly the top riders going to Poland, Sweden.
Which didn't happen in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, people think of it as a glamorous lifestyle most of the time. You're just sitting in airport lounges, aren't you, waiting? So it's not particularly glamorous, I don't think. But
I still find that glamorous, I've got to be honest.
I suppose it depends where you're going, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So-
it's better than some jobs I've done, I'll tell you that. We haven't walked under a ladder, but there is a common denominator. Who or what is it? Does anybody got any idea what...
I was just thinking.
perhaps, Tomo, you could... that's a bit of a riddly thing, so perhaps you could be a bit plainer with what you're saying.
Near a tree by a river.
What?
Okay.
It's a riddle.
It's a riddle, okay. You're a riddle, that's for sure. Duncan Pemberton, evening people. Thanks to a mobile hotspot, I have now joined as my broadband is rubbish tonight. It seems Kennet and Bossing has took their ban. So what's Cookie gonna get on appeal? Yeah, we should talk about that. So yeah, I mean,
This is just something that's gonna
you
run
can't have been
along, isn't
happy as a Wolves fan. You must have been rubbing your hands together a little bit, thinking, "Oh, Cookie's not going to be there,"
it?
and
And
then
suddenly,
he was there.
it suddenly appears on the parade. So
Um,
you know, and yeah, I mean, that was
presumably, if he's got an appeal, he's got new evidence to present. Because
yeah.
I think you have to have new evidence
Well,
to
I
appeal.
would have
don't
thought so.
you?
Yeah.
So I guess the answer is let's find out first and see what happens. But if he does walk away without, and we don't know what's going to happen, but so this is a big if. If he does walk away with his ban rescinded, how are the other two riders going to feel
I
about
don't
it?
think they're going to be too impressed, are they? So
I mean, it's and if his appeal isn't upheld, should his sentence, if I can use that word, be more?
possibly. I mean, they might.
Because that's the normal way of doing
Yeah,
things.
if you
isn't
appeal,
it?
they sort of add something on if they, they find that you haven't got grounds to appeal it. So
It's difficult to say anything because we
Yeah.
don't know what the grounds are for his appeal.
Mhm.
So yeah, watch this space. Okay. Happened at Plymouth before us, and then Coventry Storm before that.
Going back to the common denominator.
Yeah, they're still being very cryptic. I think I know what is
I've got a
getting at,
feeling.
but
I've got a feeling,
yeah,
but,
I don't. So okay, so if you've got something to say, then say it. Don't be
Yeah.
cryptic because I'm not going to respond to that. So if you've got something to say, then say it in black and white, and then we can discuss it. How Bellevue missed Max Frick last night, suddenly became a four-man team carrying two riders. That sounds painful. Yeah, I mean, that's that part of the season, though, isn't it? Where
It is, yeah.
This is
Obviously, it was nice for us to finally get our first win at the National Speedway Stadium. So, albeit I think helped a little bit by the fact that Kenneth Beer didn't turn up for the first couple of races.
Did he
Turned
not?
up for his first couple of races, yeah. Which I don't think Peter Adams was too impressed at the fact that the meeting was delayed, waiting for him to arrive. So,
a little bit more meat on the bones for the appeal situation. Vissing didn't take the ban; his appeal was rejected. So he had okay. That Jim Turrell, Cook and teams are playing the system. Ever was it thus?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So shall we move perhaps onto more enlightened subject and talk about the Grand Prix in Millella, which
We
I
should.
thought was an excellent Grand Prix firstly.
Yes, it was. I mean, Merla's always provides good racing, doesn't it? You know, it's what I call an old-fashioned speedway track, really, isn't it? In the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
You know, sort of very, very basic facilities, but a terrific racetrack. And
Very wide.
had some, yeah, very,
Very
very,
wide.
very wide track. Yeah, but no, it was a superb Grand Prix, and Freddie Lingren really showing some nerves of steel and guts.
Well,
to,
we need to
win
talk about that incident.
bearing in mind
don't
that
we?
he could barely walk before
Yeah.
the semi-final, but.
I mean, we need to talk about that incident.
Well, we will
That
put
was,
that up, won't we? I think on the
yeah,
later on, obviously, for anybody
yeah.
who hasn't seen it. But it was a really nasty one. So
I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
But did Lindgren really purposely take his wheel off the floor, or was that just happened to catch a grip?
I think,
at the
well, I think
right
there's only
time?
he, I think only he probably knows that, doesn't he? So,
If he did, it's the skill involved in that would be unbelievable. Simon Corbett, Wolves rubbish at Kings Lynn, and the guests didn't score just one last night freak out and be late.
Yeah, probably in the right place at the right time last night,
Yeah.
to be fair. But that was a
Happens.
really disappointing result down at up at Kings Lynn. Obviously a great win last night, but Swindon getting a point at Pull was a bit annoying as well, because it just keeps Swindon's noses in front. I think Swindon have got a lot of home matches as well, so
They have got a lot.
it's
of
going to
home
be
matches
difficult
coming
now
up.
for Wolves to get in the top four, I think, from the position.
But maybe not impossible.
Not
But-
impossible. Done well to get back into it after the horrendous run of
Yes.
results earlier in the season, but probably just a little bit too late maybe now. But we'll never know.
Rob J. Brownhill says, you wondering what's causing all the crashes in British Speedway? Look at track prep. It's been the cause of a few. Paul looked a bit better last night, but still looked bumpy, and ruts still appeared early doors.
Yeah, Paul was better last night. I mean, I can remember watching the TV meeting when Wolves were there. The track that night was a disgrace.
Well, say we lost
Yeah.
Ash Morris, of course.
Yeah, that's right,
I mean, you've got
yeah,
to say
so-
that James Shanes wasn't lost on a speedway track.
Lost on a grass track,
you know,
yeah,
he
so-
didn't get his injuries, so you can't put that. But yeah, I think there has been concerns with the track prep in a few places. I think Birmingham's, we've documented that they've had a few problems with the shale, but they've worked really, really hard. At
Yeah,
it.
the track's been a lot better in the
Yeah.
last few meetings. So
So that it's something they was aware of and have worked really hard. And I think not last week because we was rained off, but the week before was a great meeting, and the track produced some really good racing. And Jason Garrity produced some really good racing. We got to say, and James Shanes, of course.
he'd do well at Malilla, wouldn't he? Jason Garrity, I think.
Well, he'd take
big enough for him, I think.
yeah,
so.
it's just about big enough for him. Can we say a big well done to the top three in the under-19 British Championship last week, which was Drew Kemp, Jason Edwards, and Seymour. He's not listening.
Sorry.
Yeah. Drew. Yeah, thank
Oh,
you very
there was
much.
somebody
And
called
Anders
Seymour.
Rowe, Anders Rowe,
yeah,
of
good
course.
performance from
Yeah.
the three.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
so.
called somebody
I've just
Seymour.
heard that Anders Rowe has lost his team place. So I'm wondering whether we could grab hold of him
Yeah.
quickly.
I mean, Drew Crump's found it a bit tougher this season, moving up into the championship.
Yeah, but he's still
He's still got. I mean, we both saw him at Perry Bar last season, and he was absolutely terrific, wasn't he? Someone who's got a really big future in the sport.
Alan Atherson's saying that the Leicester track was awful. It's been said was the main reason of Spencer's accident. That's Tom Spencer, of course.
No, I haven't been to Leicester for a couple of years, to be fair. But
I was there at the beginning of the season for the Ben Fund. It
Yeah.
seemed to be fine then. Again, I think everywhere's suffering with this shale that they're having to use. I think hopefully the shale that we've now got
it's wonder
seem to be a lot better.
well, it'd be nice
last week.
thinking some of these clubs get to the end of the season, and maybe then, if the weather's kind, can sort of get to the tracks and do.
I mean, we
sort
should
of
mention
that.
the weather as well, shouldn't we? We had such a dry spell, really, really sun-baking dry spell. I don't think that's helped at all with track preparation. Certainly didn't help at Birmingham because of the limitations that we've got to actually get on the track. So all these things. We're at the mercy of the weather so much in this sport, unfortunately. Hopefully, all this rain that we've just had, when we eventually get a match tomorrow, please. It will have.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that
helped
match
things
tomorrow.
out.
It's going to be a pretty, obviously a bit of a derby.
Yeah,
Leicester, it's a long time since Leicester last came to Perry Bar, isn't it? Would have probably been. I know they had a challenge there.
it
didn't they,
was
but-
when we was in the Elite League, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
they came for a challenge, didn't they, in 2011, I think it was.
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't think they rode at Birmingham in the Elite League days, because I think that was just after Birmingham had stopped.
Right.
So,
So that would have been in.
you're probably going back to about 83, was it Leicester closed?
Yes.
So probably then.
Yeah.
So
No, we have. I'm sure Leicester. I'll have to get my archives out later. Wendy Jane Barnett, following my comment about riders not turning back after an accident, Mickelson should be fined for continuing round after the carnage of Heat 6. Well, I don't know, because he went straight to the pits, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they used to do that years
I don't think he realised what was happening behind
They
him,
did. They
to be
did used to do
honest.
that years ago, didn't they? When a rider came off, and you'd have the paramedics on the track, and they'd still
And
be
they'd still
going
be
round,
racing.
so-
Yeah, there's a few things
Yeah.
on YouTube. Alan Atherton Schlein was dirty last night, 3 maybe 4 times, but he threw a punch.
I have
at
heard
Worrell.
something about this. I don't know the full details, to be fair, but
Every year there's a lot of crashes. It's not the tracks, it's just a dangerous sport. Crashes will happen. Yeah, well, I mean, we was talking about this earlier, and it feels like the last 2 seasons.
yeah, crashes will happen. Absolutely. The only thing I would say about that is that in the last sort of 5-6 years, I've seen more and more crashes of riders who have fallen off under no pressure.
Right.
With nobody anywhere near them, they've just sort of lost control.
Sort of
It's
slid
just,
off.
Just seen that. Now, part of me still wonders whether the bikes today are just too fast for a lot of these, particularly the lesser experienced riders, to handle.
Right. I mean, I haven't got enough experience on a motorbike to be able to know that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly certainly an opinion I've heard before. See, but okay, so I'll come back to one of my pet peeves. Then we don't know, and the reason we don't know is, as far as I'm aware, data isn't collected. Every time there's a crash, the data should be collected. What was the state of the track? What track was it? What time of the year was it? What was the weather like before? What was sort of the week before? What type of shale is there? What type of air fence? All the data should be collated. Because until you got the data, you can't look for trends.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's something that should be done. Leicester would have been the Brummies' next visitors if the Alan Phillips era had not ended. So that's why we missed out on
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was the case. Yeah. So.
Alan Atherton says if only there was a 6-month break to sort the tracks out. Yes.
I've had a private message from Anders Rowe who said, "Hey, what team place have I lost?"
That's just something. So I don't know. It's just something I read earlier. So maybe I've got that. So I apologise. or I hope I'm not giving you the news.
I'm waiting for a solicitor
Sure.
to walk into the room.
I told you.
Okay.
He looks a big lad as well.
Okay. I apologise. If he gets a telephone call,
He'll be looking for you. So.
I might have got. I was just wishful thinking on my part, because we'd love you to come and ride at the Brummies, because we need somebody at the moment. But Lawrence Rogers welcomes James Shanes. I'm guessing
Should be
that
having
means
an operation on his back today. Going to Paul message there. So.
Okay, so we was talking about the Grand Prix, and we got sidetracked on sorts of things. So I think there are what's the top 5 riders in the Grand Prix at the moment? Obviously,
Well, Leon Madsen, of course, has got a solitary point lead on. You would say that now that I've just closed the programme down. So
I was
let's have a
waiting
look.
for that.
Let's have a look. So Leon Madsen's 61, Bartosz Smarslik and Martin Vasilik on 60, Emil Sarfutnoff 58, Patrick Dudek 55, and Freddie Lindgren with that win probably. Now back in it, but maybe more of an outsider on 48 points, and even Janis Kolodze on 44, not completely out of it himself. So it's tight. It really is tight at the top of this championship. So it's be a brave man to pick who's going to win it at the moment.
Go on then, pick. Are you a brave man? Who's going to win it? You said Leon Madsen last week.
He's been the most consistent rider. I mean, he's had one.
He's got the SEC experience as well, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's been in this
one.
position before.
Probably the one disappointing round was round 4 when he got 7. But I think if you look at all the top riders there, they've all had one round where they've maybe. I mean, Martin Vasilik round 3 scored just 4 points. But he's consistent. He looks quick, doesn't he? And he's been the surprise packet, doesn't he? And you could probably argue he's got nothing to lose, really. The other riders in the field are more established riders, aren't they?
They are, but is he spreading himself a bit thin?
Maybe a little bit.
Because he's still doing the SEC this year as well,
yeah.
isn't he? And I think he's leading that as well, isn't
But
he?
he's got the experience of that, hasn't he? As he leading a championship series over a series of rounds.
Would an outside bet be Freddie Lindgren? Because he all of a sudden seems to be motoring on, and he's really. Was it you that mentioned you thought he was trying to take over Nicky Pedersen's mantle a little bit, and he is showing a hell of a lot of.
Well, the one
toughness.
the one thing I will say about Freddie is that yes, he does like to dish it out, and I know from obviously being watching him at Wolves that he wasn't afraid to dish it out. But when someone doesn't back to him, he doesn't. That's how it should be. Really, it's hard. It's a hard sport. You've got to be. I can't think of any world champions that for me were shrinking varts on the track. Possibly the only one, maybe Jano Pedersen, who wasn't a ruthless rider. But to be fair to Jano, he didn't really need to be honest.
Jerseys Zakil. It's another one that might possibly.
Yeah, a bit before my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Just point that out there. So
We should say James Shanes is listening into the show tonight. All the best, James.
yeah, get also mate.
Hope to see you down Perry Bar. I'm obviously not going to be riding this year, but it'd be great to see G and the lads on. You're still the captain. Just get well soon. Wayne
Markable
Cox.
your point.
I'm just going to divert onto some of the comments now.
Go on then.
What's your thoughts on Panthers' embarrassing season?
Well, it's been bitterly disappointing, isn't it?
Well, I think that's a better word than
yeah.
embarrassed. Yeah, because they had a fairly decent.
I don't think it was a team that many people fancied to do brilliantly, but I think they thought it would do a little bit.
Well,
better
the
than
Craig
this.
Cook incident
Yeah.
is what's done for them, really.
Yeah, Hans Hansen's
And the
injury as
timing
well
of it.
was obviously. Yeah. Of course, I saw Hans Hansen ride it and really looked a pale shadow of what he had to do. This is a guy that I've seen beat Petty Golson from the back run, Mama Green. That was almost unheard of.
In his
to be
pomp,
fair.
he was.
So.
Thought of as a potential world champion.
Yeah, it never really happened for Hans, unfortunately. They're probably unlucky that he was in the same era as Nicky Pedersen. Yeah,
There's a lot of people that think that
so.
for wildly differing reasons. Yeah, I just it's one of those things that happen. We've had a season like it, really,
Yeah.
at Birmingham.
It's a real shame because Peterborough is a fantastic racetrack.
Great racetrack, love it.
It's got everything that it needs to be a top class club in British Speedway, but they just can't seem to get it right there.
Onwards and upwards is all. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Go again. That's what we will be doing, I imagine. Surely the referees collect said data. They have plenty of forms to fill at each meeting, and along with the incident recorder, I'm sure the type of information you're suggested is collected. If anything happens to the data is another question.
That's it. I mean, is it just putting a file in a cabinet and forgotten about? Or
I don't know whether... I know that they compile information on the tracks, or things like when it got dusty and how quickly that was put down, and I know that that's part of the report because I've seen one of these reports. Whether they actually... And whether they should be the one that does that is the other thing. I mean, they've got enough to think about without being a scientist as well.
Well, most of these promoters really just battling to try and keep the clubs going, aren't they,
Yeah.
in some cases? So.
Brian says, sorry to hear of your rotten luck, James. Hope you're feeling a bit better by now.
Yeah, I think I think he was having his operation today, wasn't he? So, hopefully good news will come out of that. So.
Rob says Zmarzlik will win the GP. He didn't have a great Milan.
Didn't have a fantastic medal, but he's arguably the quickest rider in the field.
And as he's asking which team spot have I lost again,
He's not going to let you forget that, is he?
He's not, and neither should he.
I want to see that comment at least 3 more times.
I don't know, but I think I'm in danger of losing this spot at the moment. So.
You said it.
Wendy Jane Burnett says that Shanes is obviously bored. Right, so we've got a few things. Sorry, there's more. I thought we'd come to the end. Sorry.
No, sorry,
Okay.
loads.
So, but before I go into that, we got the prize draw for the T-shirt tonight. Are we doing that tonight?
Crikey, yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
realise it's half 8
League
already.
table
Yeah,
as
it's
well,
half
of course,
eight already,
so-
and
Holy
we're
cow.
also going to do the league table, I suppose.
Yeah.
Shall we do the draw now?
Okay, yeah.
split them up?
Yeah.
So, yes, so those of you that have been sharing, you get shoved in the pot, not actually physically. Your name gets shoved in the pot, and we draw it out, and whoever we draw out wins a wonderful Speedway Tavern T-shirt. And this week's lucky winner is...
For last week.
I didn't know your name had an E on the end of it. Jeff Daniels is the winner.
Jeff Daniels. Well done, Jeff. You send your details to Webby via the
A regular, I think,
different
Jeff. He's
ways.
obviously doing quite well in our league table, I think, Jeff. So.
Is it?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
Another
talking
one,
to.
another one that's chasing Webby down. So.
Maybe we should ban him then.
Yeah, if you just get your details
Yeah.
to Webby, he'll send that off
Yeah.
to you.
We'll just message the show, Speedway Tavern. Yeah.
And take a photo of yourself wearing it, and we'll shove you on our Rogues Gallery. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So Alan Atherton Chapman got rid of Harris, then Cook, and said Bier wasn't a number one. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think there's been a
there's
few.
been a
I
few
think there's been a
comings and
few
goings.
bad calls, hasn't there, Peter?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, this season.
They
So.
have to learn from their mistakes, I guess. Rob J. Brownhall says the last GP is in Poland, so to me, Zmarzlik is favourite. It's got to still,
Not necessarily.
yeah, still got to be in it
Yeah.
at that point. But yeah, I mean, it's long been suspected that Poland do produce their tracks for their home riders. I don't see anything wrong with that, by the way.
Not necessarily, no.
I think we should
Yeah.
do more of it.
I mean, to be fair to Barder Smalls, I think if there'd have been another couple of rounds last season, I
Yeah.
think he would have caught tight the way he was
He was
going.
flying, wasn't he? He was flying. Predictions for SGP qualifier at the weekend. Really hope Lambert can ride in that. For me, he's the best British option to qualify. Do you think he might get a pick even if he doesn't qualify? I mean, he's not. He certainly wasn't.
Not so sure. Not so sure, to be honest. But I mean that challenge matching obviously at Gorican, Croatia, so that's going to be it's going to be an interesting one.
It is.
I would have fancied Max Frick, but of course I think a lot of it's going to depend how fit he is.
Yeah, and we should say get well. We
Yeah.
seem to be saying that a lot
Yeah,
tonight. Get
yeah.
well, Max.
Yeah.
You got to look at you got to look at him. Robert Lambert's obviously in it. Marcin Vaslik, of course, and Niels Christian Everson, Martin Smolinski, of course, he's in it. It's going to be tough for him, I think. But
Mhm.
obviously-
Never rule Martin out. He's
absolutely
such a
no.
determined character.
Yeah, and a great talker as well.
Yeah,
as we say. So, and of course, British interest in Craig Cook and Chris Harris. Obviously, Craig Cook's obviously had a really sort of bad build up to it, hasn't he? With all this stuff with the ban and everything like that. And Bomber, I think it's going to be really tough for Bomber. To be fair, fair play to him for retaining his enthusiasm, but I can't help thinking this time maybe that level has gone now. So,
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, 2007 was when he won his British Grand Prix.
Yeah.
That's you don't realise how quick the time goes.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's
So
unbelievable. What's the latest on Hans Anderson's injury? I don't know. I mean, you saw him at Wolverhampton. He looked decidedly second hand when he was riding.
yeah, he was really struggling. I think his last race he was sort of quite aggressive in it, which is a bit like the old
Right.
Hans Anderson. But yeah, I mean, this to be fair to Hans Anderson, I mean, I know a lot of people don't particularly like him as a rider, but he's been a pretty good servant to British Speedway, hasn't he? He's been loyal to a lot more loyal to British Speedway than a lot of the other top boys have been. So it wasn't nice to see someone who's been a quality rider struggle. It's never nice when you see a rider that you've grown up watching who's been at the top of his game struggling like that.
No, I'm thinking back to Soren Shoston at the moment, which
Josh Green was probably the main one for me. At the end, painful. Because I mean, I can remember as a kid watching Josh Green. He was
something else.
he was
wasn't
fantastic
he?
to watch. Absolutely fantastic to watch.
Lawrence Rogers says the op is tomorrow for James, so we'll be thinking about you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Spud. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that's referring to. So
Alan's digging you out as well about Anders Rowe.
let's put that back up. I have to read it. Alan Atherton says, has Anders Rowe lost a team spot? Apparently not.
According to one of the panel, he has. So
I must be getting him mixed up with somebody, and I'm sorry. I do apologise. I will.
You're in so much
I
trouble.
am. I do hope he's not riding at Birmingham anytime soon.
well, I shall interview him and I shall point you out. So don't worry about that.
Anders, that's a great one. Right, mate. Would you like to come on the show and give us an interview?
That'd be good, yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Okay.
And then you can really have a go at me. You can. Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it. So yeah, I mean, if that's something that you would like to do, we would love to have you on. Just get in touch with Webby, and we'll sort that out, and we can do it over the phone.
yeah.
So no problem.
We'll take bets on how many
And
times he hits you.
maybe maybe I can dig myself out of a hole a little
No,
bit.
no, no.
Well, I've got a shovel in the car, so
Yeah.
What
Jeff
brings us
Daniels,
next?
cheers lads, nice one. Small consolation for watching our home defeat to Wolves last night. Wolves rode well and took the advantage of our depleted team, but Wolves did their job. That's all you can do.
it's about being in the right place at the right time.
I bet that's what Leicester's thinking tomorrow.
I think that's probably what Bellevue thought in '93 when they pinched the league off us. But we won't go there. So.
Let's just let it go. Let it go. I think the final at Torren in front of the Polish fans probably adds more pressure than it does benefit to the Polish riders. I think Tomasz Golub certainly used to feel that. I think because he was the man during that time.
I'm not so sure, to be honest. I mean, certainly when the Grand Prix were at Bydgoszcz, he was pretty much a shoo-in to win it, wasn't he? Because he used to practice there every day. So
Yeah.
I mean,
He was something else
Yeah.
around that place.
love anybody as well to giving him memories of Oddsall, because of course it looks like it's the end for Oddsall Stadium. Bradford Bulls obviously leaving there, and
So I understand. Yeah.
so a great speedway venue from the past. Yeah.
In the past.
In the past, by the looks of it, yeah. Two great world finals there. Always some very, very good big meetings there, and of course the Bradford Dukes were, one of the major forces in British speedway when I started. So,
And of course there keeps being sort of positive sort of noises coming out of Coventry, but nothing actually ever.
well, it's going to be a long old slog. Same with Oxford as well. But so I think the problem really with Oddsall was it was just too big a stadium for. I mean, especially for league meetings, you could get lost in the place for league meetings. To be honest, I mean, they had two fantastic world finals there in '85 and 1990. And 1990 is one of the best finals I've seen, to be honest.
Yeah. Those were when it was one-off finals.
Yeah, when
wasn't
Perry
it?
Johnson won it, a fantastic race with him and Sean Moran. So hopefully it's not the end for Oddsall, but obviously with Bradford Bulls leaving there, it looks like that might be the end of another.
Well, let's hope
venue
it
for
isn't,
Speedo
but
from the past.
it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, to be said. Wayne Cox, Hans is one of the nicest guys off the track.
Yeah, I know.
I've heard the same about Nicky Pedersen. To be truthful, that he's a nice.
I'm told Hans Hansen is fantastic in the pits with a lot of particularly with the younger British riders when he was at Peterborough during his first spell with them.
Right.
He was really, really encouraging to a lot of the younger riders and giving them help. It's just where people obviously didn't like him because of his.
Alan Norvell wants to know what's happened to Ty Proctor, who has been very poor.
Yeah.
Sort of answers
Yeah,
his
he
own
was poor at
question.
Monmouth the other week.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I guess you have to hope for Ty's sake it's just a form thing. You just don't
Yeah,
know.
so you skipped over Alan's latest comment on that as well.
I'm not letting this go. Alan Atherton says, Anders Rowe, you need a new job apparently. How's your interviewing skills? This is going to run. Can we stop the season now?
I'm going to bring snacks in if he does come in.
So we set up a boxing ring outside.
Duncan Pemberton asks if you remember Morris should have pushed home in that race in '93.
Yes. Well, I think from. God, it's a long time ago. From what I can remember, he was given outside assistance.
Right.
It might not have been him actually. It might have been John Waldridge, and unfortunately, he got excluded there. And that point, ultimately, it was just absolutely amazing that we just had such a strong team. And over the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks of the season, it got completely decimated by injuries. Just one of those things. I think is.
Let it go.
I should let it go, shouldn't I? It's a long time ago. You shouldn't be.
Anthony Bailey's trying to get me out of a hole here. Henry Atkins, maybe not Anders Rowe. Stoneman has replaced Atkins at Somerset, and I think now that he's saying it, I think that is who it was. Because Henry Atkins sounds nothing like Anders Rowe, but I'm trying my hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it was because it was. I remember now. It was. He had replaced Stoneman, Nathan Stoneman at Somerset.
Yep.
So that's who I was. For some reason, I saw Anders Rowe and thought, yes, please. So there you go.
Okay, so you'll have to make up conversation while I sort out the tables.
Make up a conversation. Oh, you can sort the
That's
tables
what we've been
out.
doing for the last 40 minutes, isn't it?
Yes. Well, shall we?
Yeah.
While you're getting the tables up, shall we talk about? You can tell us what's happening in the table and where we are and
Well, you can.
how badly I'm doing.
I think you can do it now.
Oh, there
It's
it
on
is.
the-
I'm
Okay.
just going to download
Oh,
this one first. Hang on a
Let's
minute.
have a look.
Well, you've got a new system, haven't you? So
Yeah,
you're still
we'll have it on our
working
pages
it
there,
out.
so it's
Mhm.
like-
So
yeah,
Yep. So Ben Clifton's still top at the moment on 37 points. Then you got Webby and Paul PVL Racing on 35. Sean Simo Simpson 33. Simon Corbett 33. Jeff Daniels 32. Alan Atherton 32. I've now moved up to the dizzying heights of 8th on 31. Chris Vincent 31. Duncan Pemberton 30. Dave Tyne 27. GA 26.
oh, there I am there then.
You're still there, yeah. So
Gosh.
yeah, so it's still fairly close at the moment.
I think that's it.
So, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, we do this predictions thing. We choose a league each week, and we in the studio nail our colours to the mast and predict what's going to happen. Get it seriously wrong, and you guys do that as well via the shout box and
Yeah.
Facebook and whatever other means you've got. And we collate
Just,
it.
yeah,
and
just to
we have a league
point
table.
out as well last week that I said to the somewhat amusement of GA that I thought Eastbourne would win at Newcastle, and of course they did. So just thought I'd point that out. So
It hadn't gone unnoticed by me.
yeah.
And there are the full tables. If people
go.
want to have a look at them.
So everybody's going to have a go at me today. Wow.
Well, we're doing the Premiership even this week, so
I was hoping it wouldn't be the Premiership.
yeah. 6 meetings
Okay, well, obviously the first one.
is Ipswich against Peterborough.
Go on then.
Peterborough by 4.
Ooh, that's a big call.
Against who was it against, sorry?
Ipswich at Ipswich.
Against
Peterborough.
Peter. I missed Ipswich by 4, did you say?
Mhm.
How is he
He
against?
said,
How is he?
he said Peterborough by 4.
Oh, did
that's,
say
that's a big
he said
call, that is.
Peterborough. You said Peterborough by 4?
Yeah.
How is he up? I don't understand this. Ipswich by 12.
Who's
Well,
second in the table?
Well, I've gone Ipswich by 22, so I'm not giving Peterborough much chance. Unfortunately, so that's probably Peterborough's team talk done for them. So.
Okay, and the next one.
Our next one is Kings Lynn against Bellevue.
Kings Lynn against Bellevue.
Kings Lynn really need to win that one to get themselves back
Do
in
we
there.
know whether Craig Cook will be right?
Does Craig Cook know whether he's going to be right? Is it me this first one? Or?
No, it's me. I'm going to say, it's tight.
That's a difficult one to call, I think. Bellevue are probably going to be a bit under strength.
I'm going to say Kings Lynn by 2.
And I've gone Kings Lynn by 10.
Okay.
Webby?
I'll go Kings Lynn by 8.
You're just copying there.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how you get.
I ain't copied anyway. On my own, man.
Okay, so match number 3 is a repeat of last night's TV meeting, Swindon against Poole. Swindon in great form at the moment. So.
Yeah. Which is a shame for Wolverhampton, isn't it?
Yeah, just a tad, yeah.
Down to you.
I've gone Swindon by 6 for this one.
And Robert?
I'll go Swindon by 2.
Close one.
I'm going to say Swindon by 8.
Okie dokie.
It was a great match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good meeting last night, so... I think Swindon in the end
Nice
deserved
to see
the...
Adam Ellis get a win in his first race as well.
Yeah, hopefully he puts him in good stead for tomorrow. So,
Yeah, we're gonna,
right, so match number 4. This is the first one of the Bank Holiday Monday. Bellevue against Kings Lynn. That's the return of the meeting on Thursday.
and it's down to you, Webby.
I'll go Kings Lynn by 6.
What's he been drinking? I'm going to say Bellevue by 12.
No, you've gone the same as me because I've gone Bellevue by 12 as well. Okay, Swindon against Ipswich is the next one.
And by the way, in case I didn't wasn't clear enough, shove your predictions on the shout box and so on, and yeah, that you will all get put onto the league table and probably all beat me. What was the next one? Sorry,
Swindon against Ipswich.
Swindon against Ipswich. It's down to me, is it?
Yep.
Swindon against Ipswich. That could be quite an interesting match. 10 points to Swindon.
Okay. Well, I've gone Swindon by 8 on that one.
So we're not that far apart.
I'll go Swindon by 6.
Okay, and the last one is Wolves against Poole.
Is that down to you, I think?
It is down to me, yeah. Well, I've gone for a home win by 10 on that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say a Poole win by... Sure go, Webby.
I'll go Wolves by 8.
Poole don't really like Wolverhampton, do they? They've never read Wolves well. You're not giving me any clues. I'm going to say Wolves by 6.
Some quite interesting predictions there. Everybody else put yours on and we'll collate them. Well, I'll collate them.
And then we'll cry when we get it terribly wrong.
Yeah.
As per normal.
Mm-hmm.
Right, have we got anything else appearing on the shout box
sorry.
before we...
I think they're all predictions, but I'll have a quick look. Yes, they're all predictions.
Yeah. Okay, so shall we have a chat about... so Wolves have got a meeting on the bank holiday.
Against Poole, yep.
And of course the big meeting, probably the biggest meeting in the Midlands this week, I think.
Yep, I think so.
Birmingham versus Leicester.
Battle of the Yellow and Reds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although for Leicester it's the other way around, I think so.
Yeah, because they don't do it right.
Mm.
You see, I was quite confident of Birmingham actually winning this match up until I heard the news that James had had his unfortunate accident.
Yeah.
Although I got to admit, my confidence hadn't factored in the fact that Ajatoft has gone down into reserve and James is in the main body of the team. That's not because I don't think that James would have done well in the main body of the team. I think he would have done perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously we lose that extra rides that we could have got off him. So that makes things a little bit more difficult. But even so, I think we certainly would have given Leicester a really good run for the money. It's a bit more difficult now, though.
It'll be a little bit, yeah.
Sorry, quick interjection. Any news on Lee Kilby yet?
No.
No? Okay.
Saw him at Swindon, Poole last night, I was still on
Yeah,
there.
saw him on
Okay.
the... no, I mean, I don't know whether Lawrence is able to say anything. Everybody's wondering where Lee Kilby is, basically. That came over last week. Why don't you include the National League fixtures in this feature? We
Brian
do.
Buck, he's a troublemaker.
I know, yes.
He's a troublemaker.
We do.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
We-
last
we
time we had was... we'd sort of alternate National League, Championship and then...
Yeah,
Premiership,
we do
don't
one
so-
league at a time, and so we'll be here all day just doing that.
Should we make up for that and have a look at the National League table?
Yeah, let's have a look at all the
So,
tables, in
yeah.
fact,
So-
starting with the National
Well, we've got
League.
Leicester and Kent obviously joint top at the moment, both on 22 points, with Leicester
I just want to
with
say-
3 matches in hand. Yep.
I think it's going to be a draw tomorrow. That's where I was going.
Right, okay.
So there we go.
Okay,
Oh, and Lee is there tomorrow.
There you go.
So that's answered that question.
okay. Millwall third on 17 with Cradley. I mean, Cradley got pushed all the way on Monday by Plymouth.
They're a bit up and down, Cradley.
A little bit, yeah.
What's going on with them? I mean, come on, Cradley. We left that league just to give you a chance to win something.
We're still not doing it. So
Yeah.
Bellevue, Colts 16, Isle of
Next
Wight
one.
13, Stoke 8, and Plymouth at the bottom on 7. So, I mean, I think we said at the start of the season we thought that Stoke looked quite a strong team by their standards, but
Yeah.
just again, it just hasn't seemed to have worked out for
Well,
them.
things
so.
they have had injury problems
Yeah.
and so on, but then who hasn't? I think by
Mhm.
this time of the year.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
Leicester and Kent
So-
at the moment
so-
looking there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Leicester's. You're going to pick Leicester, aren't you, as the winners
Yeah.
eventually?
Kent obviously, if they can get all their team out at the
It was
same
an
time.
interesting. I know we're talking about Leicester and was talking about a different league, but it was an interesting result. Leicester versus Glasgow the other day. Was
Yeah,
it
it was, yeah.
2 points?
2 point
wasn't
win,
it?
yeah.
That was that must have been some meeting.
I would have thought so, yeah. So, but
Didn't I predict that one?
We're not talking to you about predictions. So
And didn't somebody laugh at me?
someone laughed at me for predicting that Eastbourne would win at
yeah,
Newcastle.
you're not going.
Do you laugh?
I think it's pick on GA day today.
Two
So.
in the bush or something like that.
I wish I hadn't got up this morning. Yeah, so, okay, should we have a look at the
Yeah, we'll have a look at the
Championship.
championship. Leicester still top on 39 from 17. Glasgow 36 from 14. Somerset 30 from 15. Redcar 29 from 14. Sheffield 26 from 15. Eastbourne 18, 17. Scunthorpe 17 from 14. Edinburgh 16, 13. Birmingham 14 from 13. Berwick 13 from 12. And Newcastle now at the bottom, 12 from 12. It's
Nice to see us off the bottom, and it would be nice to finish the season
yeah.
off the bottom because, yeah, we don't think we've ever been last.
Yeah, I mean, Leicester obviously been flying all season, but Glasgow, of course, it's in good form as well. Somerset, I don't think you can rule them out. And the real dark horses for me, as I said at the start of the season, Redcar. I mean, they were very impressive a few weeks ago.
Are you hearing this, brother? As I said at the start of the season,
Yeah. See, I don't forget things, that's the thing. So.
Sorry, who are you?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, Redcar, I mean, they were pretty impressive the other week at Perry Bar, so... yeah, and it's good for them.
They was actually.
Yeah,
that
it's
really
good.
was.
Yeah, it's good for them as well because Redcar have had a few really tough seasons, but obviously at the right end of the table at the moment. So, I mean, you've got to say Leicester and Glasgow, I think, are pretty much shoo-ins now. As I would probably say, a Somerset, but you know, Redcar, Sheffield, of course.
But who are you going to pick so who do you think's going to top the league? Because that's going to be an interesting one as far when you come to picking the playoffs.
Well, Glasgow've still got 3 matches in hand, haven't they? So
because I got to think they look strong to top now.
I would agree,
given
actually.
their point at Leicester now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, at the beginning of the season, but a lot of stuff's gone wrong at Leicester within. So if Glasgow win, they've just gone to Leicester and lost by only 2 points.
And it's going to give them a real.
Do they
confidence
choose
boost.
Leicester?
I tell you what, I mean, as things stand at the moment, you know, if Glasgow finish top and you've got to pick Leicester, Somerset or Redcar, you wouldn't really be any bet on any of those, to be honest.
It could go anyway, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Really, it really could. But I still think Glasgow in the box.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, purely by the fact that they've got matches in hand. So, I mean, Leicester obviously at the start of the season were just blowing teams away, weren't they? So.
However, Spud reckons that's going to be a Leicester win by 18 tomorrow. I think that's a bit much, isn't it?
I'm not so sure about that.
A bit much.
I have to say, I do think Leicester will win, but I think it'll be a close one.
It's going to be. I think it's going
Yeah,
to
I
be a
think
cracking match. By the way, we're looking forward to watching Jason Garrity racing again.
And Leicester will, you know, and Leicester usually do bring a few anyway. I mean, they've got.
And I was
great
impressed
support,
with
so-
Adam Ellis coming back from his injury. I thought, you know, I was a bit. Has he come back too soon? That's a bit quick. But he was really, you know, really looked on the pace and fit, and yeah. Spud also says he feels as though Cook will receive a longer ban for contesting it. He'll regret appealing it if it costs him a chance to ride for Glasgow in the playoffs. It's a good point.
Yeah, could end up backfiring, couldn't it? So.
Yeah.
Better know what we've just seen, I think. So.
Ben T. Oh,
I've already started selling tickets for this.
is there any news on Anders' employment status?
What a show that's going to be. Whew. Crikey.
Okay.
Yes, I've got your message, Jeff. Yep.
Yep.
Regarding
Okay.
the t-shirt. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
That was the T-shirt thing. Do you think top 4 playoffs are good or bad, or should top team be champs? Ooh, that old chestnut.
Not in the Championship and National League.
Have we got another 3 hours?
Yeah.
Not in the Championship or National League.
You don't think there should be playoffs in the Championship or the National
Because
League?
there's no TV.
Okay.
I mean, for Premiership clubs, it's you know understandable because they want the big payday because you'll always get a big crowd for a playoff meeting. But
So, but they do it in rugby, but they still get trophy for coming top.
Yeah, I think there should be a trophy for coming top of the table.
Yeah, that's an achievement, and it should be acknowledged.
Yeah.
So maybe that. I'm of two minds about them. I don't like them. I'm a traditionalist. I just don't like them. The year we finished top, it felt great. We won the Elite League that year, except we didn't because I told you to let it go earlier, but I can't let go of Greg Hancock being.
Yeah, we continue to send our best wishes to
parachuted
Greg and his
in.
family, of course, as well. Just,
Yes.
So,
I don't like them. It feels if you've topped the league and then you lose, it's bitter.
I guess it prolongs the season. I mean, you look at the National League in 2016. I mean, you could, if there'd been no playoffs, you could have given the trophy to Birmingham in May, couldn't you? It was, and then, but of course, you got that thrilling finale against Eastbourne, which you talked to a lot of Birmingham fans who were there that night. They,
Oh, well, yeah, I mean,
right.
to
No,
win
you wouldn't have had that.
Yeah,
had
to win
the
something
playoffs
like
not been
that.
there.
Well, that's why I said I was in two minds
Yeah.
for exactly that reason. To win something like that way that way, there's no getting away from it, particularly against Eastbourne, because you let's be honest, a two-match knockout scenario is favourable for Eastbourne with their home track advantage, particularly in the National League last year when you wasn't allowed tactical subs or anything.
Although they have lost player finals to both of our clubs in the past, just to point that out. So.
Okay. Is that a no?
Apparently, a GoFundMe page has been set up for Anders. And tickets are £36.
I'm not
73.
going to turn up at the pits tomorrow because I know what's going to happen. Spud says, I like the playoffs. Extends the season a couple more weeks. It's a long... it does for the ones that are in it.
Yeah.
It's a long off-season, so you want the racing to last as long as possible. There are other ways of doing that, but yeah, I can agree with that. Playoffs are the best part of the season, only if you're in them.
Only if you're in them, of course, yeah.
And only if you win them, to be honest. Jared Rathbone says you can win the league by 5 points and not receive any recognition for a full season.
Yeah, I do like the idea of giving the team that's finished top some sort of recognition.
Yeah, I think so. Alan Atherton, league champions, playoff champions, not difficult.
No, it shouldn't be difficult, really, to give something to the team that's finished top.
No. So. Thomas says, Brummies to get hammered tomorrow, I'm afraid, 60-30. Agitoft and Jenkins have to take 11 rides between them. It's going to be a very long night.
It is going to be a tough one tomorrow. I don't think there's anybody's under any...
No, don't get it, but...
Oh, crikey. Just about to finish very quick.
Okay, Spuds, I still remember the playoff final at Wolves in 2017, right down to the wire, passion and tension all night, but ultimate respect between fans. Still one of the best atmospheres I've experienced, even though Wolves lost.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've been on the both sides of the fence. I've been at playoff finals when we've won. I've been at playoff finals when we've lost. So
yeah, well, so have I now.
Yeah,
but I would have given that Eastbourne win back to have had the Elite League one. But hey ho. It is what that's sport. That's why we love it. That's Speedway. That's why we love it. Okay, so anybody that gets the chance, or even gets the chance, go down to Perry Bar tomorrow. Great night's racing. I think it's going to be a cracking match. Some of the riders on show. Fingers crossed, and no more injuries.
And I'll get the proper track for next week.
Yes, please. And Anders, mate. I do apologise, and if somebody rings you and says, actually, you haven't got a job, it's not my fault. Okay, sorry. Bye. Bye.
good night.
Good night.
Enjoy the show. Welcome to the